Thanks everyone to coming to our presentation. Today we want to talk about a project we have been working for a long time, Verdaccio. Today is just a brief introduction about the project. The plan is the following. We are going to talk about the Node.js packages, managers, and the relationship with the registries. Also, we are going to plant a question. Actually, the NPM registry is covering all our requirements. And we are going to finish talking about Verdaccio. My name is Juan. I work as front-end engineer in Mobfox here in Vienna. I've been working in Verdaccio for the last 3 years, almost. And I work in React, TypeScript, Node.js by accident. And I'm a huge traveler, so that's something I like a lot. So Priscila is going to continue the talk.
Yes. So hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. First of all, I'd like to say that today is our first time speaking at a meetup. So we might make some mistake, but I thank you for your understanding and your patience. My name is Priscila. Yeah, thank you. So my name is Priscila. During the day, I work at Evo Sports, and during the night, I work for Verdaccio. When I'm not coding, I like to travel and spend some time with the nature, and I'm also a Netflix series addict. Who isn't nowadays? Before we start talking about Verdaccio, I'd like to talk about NPM Registry. Does anyone know what a registry is? Okay, so thank you. So a NPM registry is a public collection of packages of an open source code for Node.js. It's used by back-end and front-end developers. Fine, and how we can install the library that are in the registry. I'm sure most of you have already heard about or use NPM. Although NPM is the most used package to install. Although NPM is the most used manager to install packages, there are a number of alternatives as Yarn, created by Facebook, and PNPM, a very nice open source library created by Zoltan Kohan. So it doesn't matter which library you use to install your packages, they will do the same thing, send requests to the NPM registry. Okay, but when you install one package, you expect to get only one package, right? The truth is, when you install one package, you get much more than you expected. You can try it out, you can create a project, install, for example, Webpack, and after check the Node modules folder. There will be a lot of packages. So if you come from a Java background, here you can see how the JavaScript package manager, NPM, is getting ahead. It has more than 900K modules, and it's growing every day. People are publishing, downloading, and I'm very happy because I'm a front-end developer. I mean, a JavaScript developer. Curry House has shared some nice information from NPM, which says that 97% of your code, of the code of your application, it's not your code. Only 3% is yours. So, what are you doing, guys? So, we completely depend on the NPM registry, and you should really take it seriously. Should keep it in mind, because it might fail. And it already failed. I have here some examples. Last year, for example, 2018, a guy, employee of NPM, by the way, NPM was an open source, but now it's a company called NPM Inc. So a guy, he by mistake he removed some packages from the registry. And after that, people could not build their applications anymore. So it might happen again, who knows? That's another possible scenario. NPM has two-factor authentication. It has a two-factor authentication, sorry, but it's not enabled by default. So when you type npm publish, it's just a matter of seconds and your library will be published. And you know, once on internet, always on internet. You can try to send one email to the NPM support, and they will try to help you out and disable your package. But you know, NPM has a lot of mirrors, and people can download it faster, so it will be forever there. Other scenarios, offline feature. It was introduced in the NPM 5, but that's not so good as we expected. I am going to talk about it yet. Latency and connectivity issues might affect you. So you need a good internet for use NPM and install your packages. Security and prices out of your control. If you really care about the security of your packages, you cannot rely on third-party companies to do the security for you. And even if you trust on them, this kind of who knows what's going to be the price tomorrow. Now I'd like to tell you a story. This is Javier. He's working a train during his travel in France, or it will be Austrian. The cow there doesn't let him lie to us. I like cows, by the way. So as a contributor, he is working on a Webpack project, and now after clone the project, he needs to install the packages. But he has a problem. The internet of the train is not that good. Well, maybe there are not much to install. Do you have an idea of how many dependencies Javier will get by installing Webpack, the cloned project? No? Okay, here we did some research, and here is the result. So by installing Webpack 4, he got 1,690 dependencies and inner dependencies, and that's a lot. 1,802 requests from NPM to the registry. It's a lot. So back to the offline feature. Independently, the two use it. All of them have something in common. They will install the package for you, of course, and the cache is local. There is no way to share cache between clients unless you use a proxy registry. We are going to talk about it. YARN provides the offline mirror, which forces you to check in all tables into the repo, which creates a lot of unnecessary noise. Plus, you are unable to use some CLI commands, like npm publish, npm info, and a bunch of other CLI commands. Isolating work areas. So maybe you work at some company where they have a very restrictive policy. So all the time you want to install some packages, some software, whatever, you need to go to the DevOps and ask them permission. So that's really annoying, isn't it? Okay, now I'd like you to take a look at this map. If you live in the blue area, you can consider yourself lucky. Yeah, we are in Austria. me and most of the Verdaccio contributors have lived in the, or still live in the, now it's say that from our own experience that the internet there is not so good as here. So I'm from Brazil, from a tropical country, and you know, tropical countries, they have a lot of tropical rainings. And when it starts to rain there, sometimes the internet just was just gone. And I needed to wait to the provider to fix the internet, so that's not good. For those who live in China, it's even worse, because the firewall checks everything before it goes into China's network. And many times it also corrupts the packages. By the way, Verdaccio is super popular in China. Roaming and limited data plans network outage. I have an example. Juan, my colleague, he traveled to Russia last year, and he paid 60 euros to send one email. So, so as I said before, you cannot rely on third-party companies to do the security for you. You cannot believe them 100%. If you are worried about delegate your secrets to the third-party companies, it's a sincere concern. Many companies are not allowed for internal policies, ISO certifications, and they need to self-host an internal registry. But they still be able to fetch from the public registry. Paid registries are expensive. And we have two sorts of modules here. Self-hosted. Some companies provide self-hosted registry, but licenses are quite expensive and not affordable for small startups. We have software as a service. Is the most popular module. NPM is the most popular example, by the way. But software as a service modules comes with some disadvantages. You cannot use it for commercial purposes. And we have Verdaccio. So here is a case of study. If you run a business where distributed NPM package is essential, you might look into the experience of Sheet.js. It's our client. So Sheet.js, open source project, has shared their experience, and the result for them is a success. NPM forces that every user has to have paid account if you are willing to distribute through their SaaS platform. But using a droplet for just $5 per month, you can have a registry in production and save money. So that was really a smart guy. Now I will leave the stage with Juan. He will talk about Verdaccio.
Thanks, Priscila. So, as a takeaway, if you travel to Russia, switch off the roaming. So, having a registry is essential for new projects to scale, but private resources can get expensive for small groups or startups. Verdaccio is here to provide you an affordable and easy solution to tackle all the problems like Priscila just exposed. So what's Verdaccio? Verdaccio is a lightweight proxy and private registry with entirely optional configuration that allows you to host private Node.js packages, and is compatible with all client package managers such as npm, yarn, or pnpm. Install Verdaccio is really simple. You only need to install the package globally and you are set. If you are a web developer, you are willing to try the latest features, I would recommend to use the tag, the next tag. Remember, Verdaccio only works with Node.js 6 as minimum. Also, we have an official Docker image. It's pretty straightforward to install, just like this. More than 3,200,000 pools by now are using Verdaccio in their projects and companies, and is the most popular way to use Verdaccio nowadays. If you want to know more about Docker examples, I would recommend to look into our repository with Docker examples. So it's really complete, a lot of things right there. So Verdaccio is a CLI. You only need to write Verdaccio in the terminal, and you are running the registry. It's super fast. It takes like 3 seconds. It's really simple. But also we allow you to use a different port or use a different location for the config file. So what's Verdaccio in a nutshell? Verdaccio is a lightweight private registry. It has a proxy. It caches packages. The configuration is optional. It has plugins, a lot of them. We have a web user interface integrated in the project already. And the most important thing is MTE license. So if you want to use it in your company or you want to contribute, this license is very affordable. As a private registry, Verdaccio provides all the benefits that the NPM registry with a couple of difference of benefits, I would say. First of all, you keep the full control of the registry. Also, you can host packages. You can host private packages even if they are not a scope. For instance, Webpack. If you want to host your own private package of Webpack. You can override public packages even if the name collides. You can force publish, things you cannot do it with the NPM public registry. Also, you can control the access of the packages, access the packages, also the publish. And this is a question I get all the time. Verdaccio, it does not publish in the public registry for you. Everything always is the local. Let's see this visualization, because Verdaccio is a proxy. How it works? Here I'm using PNPM. I'm installing a package through Verdaccio. So the client does a request to the registry. The registry computes the right remote, fetch information, cache the content, and responds to the client. But have you noticed something in this flow? The client's tools only works with one registry at a time. Perhaps it's not that entirely true, because you can hook other registries with the associated scope feature, like in this example. But this comes with a huge disadvantage. It only works with scopes. Also, I believe it's really hard to maintain, as it's insecure. As you can see, if you check in this is the npm RC file. If you check in this in GitHub, you can really easily leak tokens and password to the public. And this is not a good idea. Also, you cannot use regular expression to match packages. Verdaccio does. Uplinks. Uplinks is the feature that Verdaccio can hook multiple registries. Take a look at this model. This represents a really complex model which you need to talk different registries. For instance, you have a private one in your company already and you want to use Verdaccio. Also, you need to use the public one. Verdaccio has the advantage to route any package name independently whether it is scoped or not to a specific registry. One package can be fetched from multiple registries as a fallback. If one fails, you can get a second one. So Verdaccio handles the distribution very effectively for you. But not all the registries are public, might be protected. So Verdaccio also provides a way to set easily HTTP headers for authentication. As much header you need. You can grab the token for a node, for an environment variable, or you can define the token directly in the config file. Verdaccio is a cache. A cache consists in a bunch of dependencies organized by name. And a dependency consists in a metadata file and a bunch of tarbles, which is each binary version of the package. The cache will cover you when the connection with the main registry fails, and it fails, like just Priscila proof. Or there is no connection at all, because you can use Verdaccio in pure offline mode. The Storage in Verdaccio is file-based system, but you can use something different if you want to scale. For instance, you can use the Amazon S3 bucket if you want to run Verdaccio in the cloud. These plugins will allow you to scale Verdaccio in multiple processes, delegating the persistence into the cloud. Because cache is important, especially for continuous integration tools, because you will avoid failures due to external issues, like npm is down today or tomorrow, you never know. Or the package is not there for some reason, it was removed. You will save a lot of bandwidth and reduce external traffic. This is really handy if you're running your CI in the cloud, because every megabyte costs money. I will totally recommend use Verdaccio between your build server and your external registry. It will never fail for external issues. You can use plugins with Verdaccio. We have 3 kinds of plugins. The first one is authentication. For instance, GitLab is the most popular one, LDAP, or LDAP, I don't know how to say in English. And storage, for instance, you can use the plugin of Amazon, like I said before, or the Google Cloud. Also, we have middleware, because Verdaccio is an Express Node.js application. You can add your own endpoints, or you can intercept requests if you want. For instance, we built the npm audit plugin, which provides npm audit support through Verdaccio to the main registry. Also, we have in the website a list of all the plugins that are available, not all of them, but I would recommend checking GitHub because there are a lot of them there. But you can share your plugin if you want to build one, because it's really simple. We provide types in Flow and TypeScript to make this process smooth as possible. And also we have a lot of documentation in the website. It's really simple to create. We have a web user interface, because you can search private packages and browse on them. Also, you can check all the metadata which the package provides, like a license, author, last version, dependencies, dead dependencies, and so on. If you're using monorepo, I will totally recommend testing your packages before publishing them. I cannot go too much into details. It's a really big topic, but let me tell you a story. Here we have the Ionic co-founder, which he was trying to update the build scripts. In order to don't make a mistake, he turned off the Wi-Fi. Smart guy. But he might be smarter, because there is a better way to avoid mistakes, using Verdaccio as a mocking registry. Exactly like Create React App is doing. They use Verdaccio to run end-to-end testing every time someone does a pull request, ensuring the release process will be smooth and nobody introduce anything that makes it fail when a real release takes place. Also, there's a lot of other projects you might look into, like Storybook, PNPN, Mozilla Neutrino, Eclipse Zeya, and even Capture.js. They were experimenting using Verdaccio, using the same approach. All of them, they use different patterns because different builds. Other features we can highlight here is we have a Node API. You can build something on top of Verdaccio, like Amazon Labs is doing with the Cloud Development Kit. You can look also in the project how they do it. Also, we have notification if you want to bother your colleagues with Slack every time someone publishes a package. Also, you can do it. So let's recap. Verdaccio is really affordable and easy to use. You own the control of the private packages. Only you. You can cache. Caching the packages will keep you safe. You will never miss a package. Also encourage you to test your packages because they need to be tested as well. And it has a full offline support. Donations. So, yes, Verdaccio. Lock the doors, yeah. Verdaccio is an open source project. Nobody's working 24/7 on this project, but we are running activities like this one. We have stickers, by the way, a bunch of them. And we believe the open source might be sustainable if you allow me to quote, I forgot his name, but he's my hero. Yes, so if you want to donate projects, I totally recommend it. Because 97% of your project depends on open source. You can donate other projects in Open Collective, Webpack, Babel, PNPM, a bunch of projects out there. I totally recommend donate open source projects. We have documentation. We are using Docusaurus for the website. It's really an amazing project created by Facebook. Also, documentation is in 7 languages. I want to thank to Crowdin because they are giving us free licenses. Also, I would like to thank all the contributors, more than 200 contributors in all the projects, because it's an amazing achievement. The project is so stable thanks to them. Verdaccio 4 is going to be released this year. We have a bunch of new features like JSON Web Tokens, because you will be able to expire tokens. You cannot do that with the other registries. You can change the password, yes, finally. And we have a new UI, Material UI. We are migrating to TypeScript, sorry Flow for that. And we have a new Docker image. It's even better than the current one. To keep in touch, you can chat with us in the Discord, in chat.verdaccio.org. You can follow us in Medium, you can follow us in Twitter, or just give you your star in GitHub. It's really nice. So this is the end. Thank you for coming here and listen to our presentation. Thanks, Priscila, for being part of this. Also, I would like to thank the proofreaders. They made these slides less typos as possible. And thank you guys for listening to us. So you have.